I did get my master's in emerging media, and so if you're wondering why I'm qualified to give this presentation, it's not just because I'm on Facebook all day. It's because I actually got a degree in Facebook, as my friends call it. And so today I'm going to talk about the right mix for your social media marketing strategy. I'm going to go over some do's and don'ts. I will talk about some social media marketing myths or common mistakes that are made. And I will show you guys to monitor and measure your presence on social media. Now, there is a very big, the landscape is changing in today's marketing and advertising world, and it has a lot to do with this group called Generation Y. And it makes up of about 75 million people in today's workforce. It's the people that were born in the early 1980s up until today. That's my generation. And they're really changing the way that that marketing is today, because they rely on efficient communication. They prefer communicating via the internet, via text message versus actual meeting in person or letters. They're multitaskers. They're distrustful of media and politics because of the political events that have happened in our lifetime. They're unafraid to question authority. They're closer sphere of influence. They don't really trust anybody unless they're their friends. They're plugged in 24/7, and most importantly, they're tech savvy. In addition, people are starting to not really care, being able to tune out marketing messages because of new technologies such as DVRs and YouTube. Advertising are now just seen as a nuisance to people. They no longer have to pay attention to it. They're able to avoid it. And if somebody wants to watch a television program, they're likely to just watch it on YouTube rather than sitting through advertisements on TV. And so marketers must find a way to catch the attention of people that have already gravitated against advertisements. And the word marketing itself is very dangerous today in representing your business, because people are actually, because no longer are tuned in, you have to think of more as relationship building, because people will automatically tune out to marketing itself. This is a picture of Scott Stratton, and he wrote a book called Unmarketing, and he says that the two most valuable assets that a company has is its current loyal customers, and then the referrals that they give their friends. And that's pretty common sense. But what's important about this is because now with the emergence of social media, all these customers, they can promote your own business, and they can disseminate this information at an unprecedented rate. And it's all free, so these customers can basically do it yourself. Now, social media joining out every platform isn't the best social media marketing strategy. It's important to utilize your efforts on the platforms that your target market are under. Now, Facebook has 901 active members. It's the biggest one, and 526 million of these people get onto Facebook every single day. And LinkedIn has 150 million members. Twitter has 127 million. Females are just a little more, there's more females on social media than males, just slightly, except for LinkedIn, which is about 50-50. One thing that's surprising is that 45 and up is the highest age group on social media. As you can see on Facebook, 46% of people on Facebook are above 45 years old. And most people seem to think that, it's the younger generations are the ones that are making up the most presence on Facebook, but it's actually not. And Twitter is more of a younger crowd. It's 25 to 44 makes up the most of Twitter, and LinkedIn, 49% are 45 and up. Due to time, I'm not going to talk about all the different platforms, but three platforms that are really beneficial for small companies are YouTube, which has passed Yahoo as the second biggest search engine, Foursquare, which is a good way to run promotions and get noticed. It's a location-based social media platform, and Google Places is a good way to get visibility and to control your own marketing message. So I'm going to go over some do's and don'ts of social media. And in order for your small business, it all starts with followers. And since your loyal customers are your biggest asset, and chances are that if they're following you, they already like you. And it's okay to ask them to spread the word and to spread the word about your social media presence. Here's some different ways that you can ask your customers to share your social media sites with. You can print flyers about your social media presence and you can hand them out whenever they check out of your company. And how many of you have email marketing softwares that you subscribe to? You can send an email marketing blast to all your customers and just make it just a basic social media advertisement and ask them to join. You can print it on your receipts whenever they're coming out and just give the links to social media. And you can whenever you run promotions, you can actually ask your friends to actually share it with your friends. We actually had a staff member last week send out a LinkedIn message that said, are you following us on Facebook? And she left a link. And overnight we had 18 new followers on Facebook just by asking them, can you join our Facebook site? And as long as you don't do this, as long as you don't ask people every single day to follow you, which would be annoying, it's actually a good way to actually get customers. Social media platform or promotions are a great way to build your follower base. This is one that I actually ran a couple months ago for the Richardson Economic Development Partnership. We had a broker-developer luncheon. It was about a luncheon for 100 attendees or so. And we got 3 prizes donated, and we handed each one of these flyers. And it said, if you join our Facebook site or Twitter or LinkedIn, you will be qualified to win one of these prizes. And overnight, my Facebook and followers increased by 14%, Twitter increased by 10%, and LinkedIn increased by 35%. Sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of incentive for somebody to follow you.
Jenny, can I ask a question? Did you run some kind of software for the raffle, or you just printed out the
I printed out myself,
Okay.
yeah. If you prefer your customers to do more than just join your Facebook site, you can do a submission contest. And Offer Restaurant, actually, they were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives last night. Anybody catch that? It's a restaurant in Richardson. But they are the king of social media contests. This is one that they've done on Facebook. And they ask people every week to submit some kind of contest, and they give out free lunch buffets every day. And if you look at their Facebook site, people actually participate in these. It's very interactive. They post photos of the food, share it with their friends. And this is just a great way to not only engage your audiences, but to give them an incentive and get some more followers. And then here is a Foursquare app. Has anybody heard of Foursquare? It's kind of more in the advanced social media sites. This is a promotion that Boardwalk Volkswagen did. They're just down the street. And the way Foursquare works, it's a GPS app, and so if you pull it up when you're around the area, then these promotions will pop up in whichever area you're at. And this one is a 10% discount on any repairs or maintenance. And so not only does this, reward your loyal customers, but it actually gives you more visibility to somebody that might not even heard of Volkswagen before. They just see this promotion when they're in the area. So that's a great way to not only engage your fans, but to get new fans as well. So, listen and respond to your fans. One of the most common mistakes in social media is people, they put out content, but they don't actually engage with their current fans. And so it's really important to engage your customers and to start conversations. I'm going to show you guys 2 Twitter accounts that do a really good job of actually interacting with their fans. This is Dart. And a lot of people interact with Dart and they have complaints, they have questions, they have concerns. And as you can see, Dart actually is proactive in replying to their mentions. And they're not just posting out their own content, they're actually replying to their fans. And that's just, what's great about this is back then, before social media, in order to actually get through a company, you'd have to make several phone calls, you'd have to write letters, you'd have to go through receptionists. But now, with just the click of a button, you can actually get to the organization and they can solve your problems immediately.
Jenny, excuse me.
Sure.
This is a great example for Dart, but you need to have the mechanism and resources in place to actually be responsive and on time.
Right.
As a small business owner, you're kind of jack of all trades and you're wearing so many
Yeah.
hats. How do you balance all of that?
You can have a designated staff person to do that, which isn't always practical, which isn't always feasible. You can have a social media student like me, or you can have somebody that's studying emerging technology, emerging media at UT Dallas that would love this kind of experience and do it as a free internship. I'm going to guys show you Offra, their Twitter account. They have a lot of activity right now because they were just on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives last night. And as you can see, they don't just post their own content, they retweet what other people are saying. They thank people for mentioning them. They have conversations that don't even have to do with their own business. They're not strictly promoting themselves, which customers appreciate. This is actually a personal anecdote of how a company turned a really bad experience into a good one with me. I purchased 2 defective bottles of dry shampoo of Tresemme shampoo. And so I got onto Twitter and I asked Tresemme, I told them that I had 2 defective bottles in a row, and both times the can was defective. I'm hesitant to buy a third. Was it a bad batch? Well, they replied to me within half an hour, and they said, "Boo, that's no good. Sorry to hear that. Go ahead and email customer service and let them know." I emailed them, and a week later, I had an apology, I had a full refund, I had coupons for more Unilever products, and I was so pleased that I went back onto Twitter and I acknowledged how great Tresemme's customer service is. And so they turned a bad experience into a great one, and that's just a great way that social media can actually build relationships. Okay, another do is to share visually appealing photos. And statistics show that photos and videos are much more interactive and they get much more, clicks than just regular static content and text. 2 websites that do really great, or social media sites that do a great job at this, SoftLayer, which is an MTBC member, they posted pictures of their recent trade show, Bot Expo, on their Facebook account. And as you can see, 32 people liked it, which is pretty good. And so people are more likely to actually go and flip through these photos than to just, see static images, or not static images, but just text. That's something that people want to interact with. Let's see, Marcus Cafe. Last week, I was looking for a place to eat lunch with my coworkers, and I got onto the Marcus Cafe website, and this is a true story. I looked at their website about their June lunch specials, and I went to Marcus Cafe that day because it looked so good. So it's easy to just post pictures of your food. I mean, they're more likely to actually go and try it once they say, "This is what I got at Marcus Cafe, by the way." Now we're going to go into the don'ts, and the first one is not to schedule your content. Social media really needs to emulate real-life interaction as much as possible, and if you schedule your content, people can tell. It seems fake, it takes out the human element, and it doesn't seem like it's coming from a real person. There's exceptions to this. For example, if you work for a magazine and you guys have an editorial calendar and you know that in October you're focusing on commercial real estate, then it's okay to know that in October you're going to post commercial real estate articles. Likewise, if you know that October is breast cancer awareness month, then you're going to post articles about breast cancer awareness. But other than that, social media really needs to be real-time and human. Don't exclusively market yourself, because that is spam, and nobody wants to see that. It's obviously you want to showcase your organization in a positive light. You want to promote your events, and you want people to like you. But if you make the bulk of your tweets about how awesome you are, people aren't going to follow you. I would say a good ratio is about 50 to 50. Half of promoting your businesses and your organization, and the other half maybe promoting your community or your members, highlighting your members, articles about your industry. You want your fans to say the good things about you, because if it's all you saying it, they're not going to believe you. Don't follow everyone. This is a very common mistake for social media. Usually when people sign up for social media, they go and they start following everyone under the sun. And the first reason that this is bad is because you need to have a 1-to-1 ratio for your follower to following ratio, because if you're following 900 people and only 100 are following you, that's questionable. It says something about your social media. And following random people isn't going to help you build your audience. When it comes to Twitter, quantity is much bigger than quality. And the more selective about who you are, you're not just pushing out content, you're actually reading what people are saying, and you're waiting to respond to them. And so, you want to follow the residents of your community. Here's a good example of how that would come in handy. Say that you sell bicycles in Richardson, and you follow UT Dallas students, and you see that a UT Dallas student is looking for a bicycle. What do you know? You happen to sell bicycles. And so that's a good opportunity for you to reach out and say, hey, we have a promotion on bicycles this week. We're located here. Come in and say hi to us. You want to follow your followers, for most of them. If they're following you on Twitter, the chances are that they already are a fan of you and they're interested. But they also could be just people that are trying to build up their own follower list. So if you if you are a fitness club in Richardson, you're not going to want to follow a self-help guru in San Francisco or a insurance salesman in New York. That's not going to promote your business. Local and state government. All of the Richardson City Council members are on Twitter, so you want to follow them because what they say might affect your business. And of course, the Chamber, the Economic Development Partnership are on Twitter. You want to follow local news sources. Twitter is actually one of the biggest sources for breaking news, and so that might affect your business. And then finally, your competitors, because if they run promotions, you want to be able to respond to that, and you want to know what your competitors are doing. And here's just a recap of the do's and don'ts, if you guys missed any. Okay, social media marketing myths or common mistakes that companies make. The first is linking your social media accounts together is an efficient way to get your message out to multiple audiences. No, while that might be efficient, if you link your profiles together, it's almost bot-like. It'll show whenever you say something from Twitter and link it to Facebook that it came from Twitter. And so it's almost as if it's a shortcut. And not only that, but you have different audiences on every medium, and it's not human-like, like I was saying. It comes across as bot-like, and it's not best practice. Post frequently. You can never tweet too much. Yes, you can. You want to make sure your customers know you're there, but you should really only tweet when you have something substantial to say, because it becomes it becomes spam if you don't. This is, can you lower the lights really quick?
Here we go.
This is virtual yoga that I used to follow on Twitter, and as you can see, they tweeted 6 times in a row within about 1 minute. It just looks like spam. You can't see anybody else's tweets. And it's annoying. It's not interacting. And so I actually unfollowed them because they tweet too much.
Jenny, can I ask a question about the previous thing? So you're saying that Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, they have different audiences. And maybe each one of those audiences is interested in different things.
Right.
So how do we find out what a person or my followers on LinkedIn are interested in? How do I segment and post appropriately to my target audience?
Well, you can, especially on Twitter, you can actually read their profiles. And so you can see their demographic. Typically people get onto Facebook they're not on there for many business purposes it's mostly for keeping up with pictures and their friends. And so usually they only get on Facebook to an organization that they really like. Whereas if you're on LinkedIn, people are there for business purposes, and so they welcome these kinds of inquiries. You can always look at your profiles, you can read where they're from, and actually know who you're speaking to.
Are there tools to download and data mine this data?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go over a few monitoring softwares at the very end. For optimal SEO, all tweets should include hashtags and searchable keywords. Does anybody not know what a hashtag is? Has anyone heard of a hashtag? A hashtag is a way to search for trending topics on Twitter, and it's when you put a £, and then you put the topic so that it's searchable, and you're also able to form conversations about that topic. Hashtags are great if they're used effectively, but if you misuse them, they can really hurt you. they can look like spam. Here are some good examples of good hashtags. For example, if I were a restaurant or small business in Richardson, and last month whenever the Wildflower Festival was going on, I said, looking for a hangout spot after the show, we have $2 margaritas tonight. So if somebody were in Richardson in town for the Wildflower Festival, if they searched that term, your tweet would come up and it would be very relevant. You could earn a customer that way. Or anyone know of good resources for Facebook demographics and stats? This is a good way to find tweets about those topics. Bad. Our omelets are best in town, so good, yum, food, you should try them. Is anybody gonna search you should try them or so good? Not likely, and if I saw this in my Twitter feed, I wouldn't read it. It looks like spam, it's almost offensive. We love our fans, thanks for following us. That's a great tweet, but no one's gonna search love, fans, thanks, or following. Now here are ways to monitor and measure your social media efforts. They're all free, by the way. First is Facebook Insights. And when you go to your organization's page, sorry, I'm going to work from the Richardson Economic Development Partnership. And you click where it says Insights. And you can actually keep track of who is liking your page every day, who is clicking on the links that you post on Facebook. The reach is number of people who actually saw it. The engaged users are the people that have clicked on it, shared it with somebody, and then talking about this is people that have, they've created a story, and that means that they've liked it or they've shared it with someone. And you can tell how many people liked you. As you can see that there's this big increase right here, and that's when our coworker asked people to like us on her LinkedIn site. You can analyze who the demographics are, and this answers your question, Robbie, about who your followers are. You can see that 14% of our followers are between the 13 and 44 age range. You can see where they're from, which language they're speaking.
Can they get that info from their profile?
Yeah. Yep. And then this isn't really applicable to our business because people don't come here and check in. But if people check into your business on Facebook, you're also able to see those demographics as well. So this is just a great free resource for you to be able to keep up with who is interacting with you via social media.
So your conversion objective would be to have more people view and click through.
Right, and that's one way you can tell what's working. If you're posting a lot of content that's just no photos and videos, but and no one's looking at it, you're going to want to start posting videos and photos because that's what people interact with. Where'd it go? The next is TweetDeck. Has anybody heard of that?
Yes.
This is a way to track all of your different Twitter accounts. Say that you have your own personal Twitter account and then you have one for your small business. And the way that you do this is you can tweet from your personal account. You can choose which one to tweet from. You can see who's interacting with you in each column. And this talks about people that mention you. It talks about people that retweet you. And one of the most important functions that it has, that it allows you to search keywords. And so I search anytime that anyone mentions telecom corridor, because I work for Richardson, economic development, the hashtag economic development, Richardson, Texas. And so if anybody is talking about your business, this is a great way, like I said, to find keywords that are going to help you get leads. For example, you can search Richardson and health club. And if you find those two keywords, then you can actually interact with these people.
Jen, is TweetDeck and Tweetcaster, are those two applications you can find actually on Twitter?
They're not actually part of Twitter, these are separate applications.
Okay,
Yeah, but you
Alright.
you can Google them and download them.
okay, thanks.
Sure, and you don't actually have to download TweetDeck. If you have Google Chrome,
Uh-huh,
then you can just, you can open this up from your browser. You don't even have to download it onto your
Great.
computer.
Jenny, what do you think about Hootsuite? Is it similar? Or?
It's similar. It's a way to link all of your accounts together and to monitor your presence. I prefer TweetDeck, but Hootsuite is definitely a good one too. And this is Bitly. And this tracks who is clicking on your links. If you, you only have 140 characters to post something onto Twitter. And so, let me just demonstrate. If I want to put this link to Dart Media and shorten it. So it shortens my link, and I copy this. And that's what I can paste into my tweets. And then afterwards, I can go into stats, and I can see who clicked on my link. Or not who, but how many people.
so is Bitly just for Twitter?
It's for any links in general. You can do your Facebook links, your
Okay.
Twitter links, LinkedIn. And then not only can you see how many people, but then you can actually see the distribution of where they were linking, where they were clicking on it from. Most of these people clicked on this link on June 12th. They looked at it from Facebook, from Facebook means mobile Facebook, so they viewed it from their iPhones. T.com means Twitter. Direct means they clicked on the link directly. You could even see what country they clicked on it from. 90% clicked on it from the United States. We even had somebody from Poland. Does anybody have any specific questions about social media and how it can be used for your business?
I have a question. Is there, with my company, we're a safety and security company, I kind of don't see a reason for a Twitter account. Would you say that there's some companies that don't need Twitter accounts, wouldn't utilize a Twitter account, that kind of thing?
No, I mean, when I worked at the Callier Center at UT Dallas, we didn't have a Twitter account either because we were a healthcare company. We saw most of our customers, it was a younger demographic, and we didn't think that people would keep up with those kind of tweets anyways. We used it mostly for Facebook, so we could post photos and photo albums and post our events. So it has to do with your marketing mix. It's not best to just go out and join everything.
And then also I have another question, LinkedIn versus Facebook. LinkedIn to me seems kind of more of a professional website versus, Facebook's a very much of a social
Right.
website. And, like you said, put articles up, pictures, stuff like that. Can you give suggestions of things that we might more so put on LinkedIn versus Facebook?
On LinkedIn, what kind of business do you work for? What's your small business?
It's safety and security solutions, so we work with their networks to try to make sure that whatever safety and security that they wanna put in,
Yeah.
works with their network type thing.
Let's see, when you would use LinkedIn basically to network with other companies, and so
Okay.
you would want to try, look for suppliers or partners, and so I would market yourself to a potential supplier or company,
Okay.
because you're probably not going to promote your business to a potential customer on LinkedIn.
Part of our own partners or any of our other subcontractors that we're already familiar with, kind
Right.
of get linked in with them.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense, thank
So
you.
Jenny, isn't LinkedIn more person to person though on a professional basis? Cause I know we've got our company listed on LinkedIn, but there's really not a whole lot
Yeah.
you can do with it. You've got
Right.
it listed, but that's about it.
It doesn't really work for all companies.
Mm-mm.
You're Canyon Creek.
Canyon Creek Art.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not likely that you're gonna find somebody to get framing on LinkedIn. You're more likely to find customers on Facebook or
Mhm.
Twitter.
But even just, not counting what we do as a business, but businesses in general there's not a whole lot you can post. You can put a little profile about the business there, but you can't really post as your business. You can only post as an individual.
Well, actually, they actually have these new interactive profile pages.
Do they?
For businesses, yes.
Okay,
LinkedIn, it used to be where you could only post as an individual on behalf of their website,
Right.
but now you can post from Canyon Creek Art.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Is that a level they have to pay?
no, no.
As part of and the slides changed, but the Richardson Economic Development Corporation, do you help Richardson-based companies do this, or? What is your contact information if you're interested in getting help in this area, or
Yeah.
is that totally not what you do?
No, that's exactly what I do. We help Richardson companies stay and grow in Richardson. And so if you need some social media help, you can contact me personally, and if you're in Richardson, I'll be glad to.
How?
Wait, contact info. Which is next. Feel free to shoot me an email. I'm also on LinkedIn. This is the email address you can contact me at. I'm on Twitter. You can talk about this brown bag on Twitter using this hashtag RCC brown bag, and I can answer questions by searching that hashtag. But yeah, I'd be happy to help you out with your social media efforts. That's what we do.
I kind of have an overzealous owner that cut us off Facebook. Probably because too many people were doing too much during the day on it. So, needless to say, I need some go to bat work, hopefully from you, if you'll help me, to say this is why we need to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
If it's the only web page we can pull up as our page, I don't know if that can be happening. But seeing what I've seen today, we need to have that with the company, with what we do and staffing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I understand why some companies block social media sites because they think that it's going to affect productivity.
it does. It did at our office. I have to admit it did.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could have a designated person, or maybe some rules about how often you can get onto Facebook. And I think it's
I don't know,
it's
he's
really
pretty-
gonna
Yeah, he's
gonna
pretty
affect
tough
your
about
safety.
it because I've tried and I'm like, well, we need to do something. So maybe when you send me your stuff and I go in there with my band of information, I might be able to get it back.
One thing you can do, put a browser timer on it. Chrome has one. And you can list websites, and it only allows you to stay on that website for X amount of time, and then it won't let you go back. So I know the last company I worked with, I had one for Facebook and one for Twitter. You can only be on Facebook for 3 hours a day. If you had to drink of course, that was my job, so it's probably all. You can set the timer wherever you want. You can do it like an hour in the morning, an hour after lunch.